My guest tonight, of course, a hilarious comedian, an actor who was starred in Ratatouille, King of Queens, and The Goldbergs, just to name a few things. His latest stand-up special, I Love Everything, is currently streaming on Netflix, and he's the executive producer of the HBO documentary series, I'll Be Gone in the Dark. Please welcome my really good friend, Patton Oswalt. I'm so happy to talk to you, Patton. God bless you.
Yeah, trust me, this interview has been a lifeline for me. This has been like holding concert tickets. I've known about it for a couple of weeks. And it's like, if I can just get to Tuesday morning and talk to Conan.
This is, no, seriously, I was coming to the theater today to tape this, and I was thinking, oh, great. I'm so starved to talk to funny people, and you're one of my favorite people. And I was like, I get to talk to Patton today. And so I think I drove 80 miles an hour to get to the theater just so we could have this interview. Let's make this about you and then more about me.
Yes.
How are you doing? How are you doing during isolation? Are you handling this all right? And why are you sitting in a Lowe's theater right now?
Look, when the shelter-in-place order came down, I was in an early screening of Black Widow. No spoilers, but I've been in place, and you can live on red vines and Sprite. People don't understand this, but it's a very intense diet.
So you've been saying that they shouted COVID quarantine while the movie was ending, and you just said, "I'll just stay here."
I go, yeah. Well, first I thought, is this the next phase of the Marvel movies where they actually, add some kind of outside threat that, oh no, it's really real. And, I'm kind of the last one left here. A lot of us have gone insane. There's one other guy, but he's living under the seats now. So it's just, I'm kind of the spokesman. It's sort of.
They said you will speak for all of us here at the abandoned theater.
I mean, I've been handling things okay. I realized the other day that a lot of times in the morning I will go sit on my front porch. We have like a front porch swing, and I'll sit out there and read a book, and the same people will go walking by, and I'm starting to worry that I'm becoming the weird fixture in the neighborhood, the guy in his robe and cargo shorts just kind of waving at people with a book, and they use me as it's 9 a.m. He's out there. Like I'm the weird neighborhood clock now that they kind of set things by, but I've become a guy who sits on his front porch and waves at people.
Right. Yes. The thing you, as a child or as a teenager, you thought, I'll never be that guy, ever.
Yes. Oh my God. I'm the guy. You know who I am? I'm the guy in like the slasher movie at the beginning who's like, that house has a death curse. They're like, shut up. Oh God, I turned into that guy.
Yes, you're that guy. You don't want to go up there, I tell you.
Don't go to the old Beardsley place. It's a murder house. And they're, shut up.
You know what I'm missing now? A hair and makeup team. I am missing a hair and makeup team.
First off, your hair, they should use time-lapse photos. That should be the chronicle of this quarantine, is Conan's hair. The ongoing, like the bigger and bigger it gets. When this quarantine ends, every actor and actress, we should organize some massive dinner celebration parade just for hair and makeup people. They should be, whenever we see them, we should like avert our gaze and kneel. Like
yes.
They are so clearly such a crucial, they're beyond crucial in show business. I mean, we knew that they were valuable, but my God, the next, whatever the next live Academy Award should be, they should like have they should like bring a powder puff out on stage. We should all like stand and just kind of worship it, just like put our heads down and it's just like some kind of bee shining thing.
Right.
Oh my God. Hair and makeup people, I've always tried to be nice to you, but I was not being nice enough. I promise you. This is I'm going to show up in that trailer every day with muffins and coffee and just thank you.
So I've been frightening people online with my hair every day on the show, because every day, like some days I kind of comb it up a little bit, but it's gotten so long.
Jesus.
There's like 9 feet of hair, and then it turns into this tsunami. But then if I let it go, it comes down and I sort of look like, hey man, I'm just playing my song, man, and I'm pushing my hair back this way, and but I'm just sort of enjoying letting it all go. Just let it all go.
Yeah, if you didn't have any product in your hair right now, you would look like the one Viking on the raid that like knows what all the like the codes and codexes mean. Like there's the big brawny guys. You're like no, this means there be dragons. Listen to like you're the guy they bring along.
Wait a minute. So I'm not the good fighter or the strong Viking. I'm the guy that's like, I know the signs.
Well, no, they bring you along to translate so they make sure they don't open any cursed items. That's who they bring.
A lot. Hey, have you found, what are the positives? Has this changed? Because I keep looking for silver linings. Has there been anything that's changed your perspective during this quarantine where you think, okay, I didn't think about that before, but now my perspective is different?
Maybe the internet and Twitter and being online isn't the be all end all. Like, what if the quarantine is the version of you catch your kid smoking, so you make him smoke a carton of cigarettes? We've all been online so much that I almost think when the quarantine lifts, there's going to be a crazy shift away. And I just want to be outside, actually looking at people, actually embracing stuff and the tactile world. Wow.
Yes.
What if that's an actual thing that's going to happen? What if there'll be a weird backlash against like all the being online because of being stuck inside?
I think there will be. I think it will last about 4 hours. Everyone's going to go outside and touch trees and breathe air and touch each other and go to restaurants for about 4 hours. And then everyone's going to go back to these things.
Yeah. And they'll all do Instagram stories about being outside and not being on the internet. Wow.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, I've gotten way too into watching way too many movies what you find out very quickly is all of the really good stuff that's on Netflix and Hulu and Canopy and Shudder and all these channels. You go through the good stuff pretty quickly, and then you start searching for the weirdest. Like I'm actually craving bad films. So like I've been watching Steven Seagal movies, and if anyone, there's a lot of later Steven Seagal movies on Netflix. These are the ones where he just does not get up out of his chair in the movie. It's so amazing. And if there's any Steven Seagal movies, the later ones on Netflix, watch them with closed captioning. Turn the subtitles on, because these poor closed captioners, Steven Seagal movies don't have a lot of dialogue. So there's a lot of like thrilling music, explosions. And then when Steven's on screen, it's effort standing up, wincing as he sits, heavy breathing, heavier breathing, wheezing. There's just a lot of, they will articulate how badly he's doing physically.
Is there actually a closed captioning that says aging badly? I was thinking about it.
Fresh from craft service.
You are a victim of this because you did in your stand-up special, I Love Everything. Someone found this and they put it out there, and I think you've been spreading it around too. Yeah. They took a freeze frame of the closed captioning that accompanied you on stage, and it says rambles, groans. Let's take a look at that right now. There it is. This is an actual closed captioning for you. Yep. Rambles, groans. Why?
Because closed captioners, I know people that have worked closed captioning, a lot of them are struggling writers, struggling performers. They've got to try to make that job interesting. So they will slip in little moments of poetry whenever they can. And that's a gorgeous moment. Rambles, groans. That will be the title of my next special.
It's perfect.
So perfect. And it's so what this time is right now. That is, if there are two words to describe 2020, it's rambles, groans. That is everyone just like, I was trying to do, and we start rambling angrily, and then we just sort of pause, and then we just kind of give up. And the other person isn't offended by that. They're just like, yeah, exactly. Yes. Awful.
Now, speaking of entertainment, I know you're a film buff, and we've established that you live in a theater now. Your daughter, Alice, this seems to me, because this is what I've been doing with my kids. I've been trying to use this time to say, hey, we're all here together. you're going to watch some of
Yeah.
the great movies with me, and they do, and they really like them. What have you been showing your daughter? What kind of stuff have you been showing her?
It's been amazing. I've been showing her a lot of the movies that I grew up on. So I've shown her Groundhog Day. She loved it. I showed her Raising Arizona, which is a surprisingly good kids movie for like kids 11 and up. There's not really that much cursing, and all the violence is like a Roadrunner cartoon.
It's very cartoony. It's a great movie.
Cartoony, yeah. But then I also showed her the first Matrix film, which she thought was hilarious. And it's like, so they go into a computer and they can do anything. And it's just like when I would go see Star Wars when I was little, and then I immediately wanted to fight with a light, like I got a broom handle and fought like a lightsaber. She wanted to do the Matrix. So we have a trampoline in the backyard, and she made me film her in Matrix style, which I also have some film of if you want to show that.
We have this, and
I got a video.
It's pretty cool because she does a pretty good move in slow motion.
Yeah, she kind of lands a move. So if you want to, check that out.
Let's put that up right now. Take a look. That is quite impressive, and it makes you wonder why more of the Matrix didn't take place on a child's trampoline.
Exactly. Why didn't they use that more? And why didn't they have the thing where, I mean, she basically figured out a way to do frozen bullet time.
Yeah.
She freezes her bullet in the net.
Net.
Yeah.
They're spending way too much money on those films. They don't you just need a net and a trampoline.
Tell me how the movie looks any better than that movie that I just shot. I mean, seriously.
I have a good recommendation for people out there, for you too. I watched this the other day. I had a craving for kind of a cheesy movie. Mm-hmm. I wanted to kind of hate watch something. So Death Wish 3. Wish 3, I'm telling you, yes, Charles Bronson arrives in New York City. He arrives, and it was shot in 1985. He arrives in a perfectly fine New York City. He shows up at the Port Authority. Everything's functioning fine. He gets in a cab and he goes to a part of the Bronx where there are dirt roads.
Yes.
Dirt roads, no law, gangs riding around. Everything's on fire. No one's calling. The cops are like, what are you going to do? We've lost control. And I'm like, call in the army, for God's sake. Yeah. It's insanity.
Edgar Wright is obsessed with that movie. He and I talk about the movie all the time. One, yes, it was shot in 88. It was shot in London. The establishing shot coming to the Port Authority, they shot that, and the rest of it, they went over to London. They barely disguised London as New York. That's why it looks like this. It doesn't look like America at all. He's flat out murdering people in the street when he shoots the giggler, and there's like 20 witnesses watch this guy bait the dude, shoot him in the back, and they all go, yeah! They're all just hearing a murder.
It is an insane movie, and I think if anyone takes anything away from this, listen. Today we're not just mentioning your projects. I love everything, and I'll Be Gone in the Dark. We are also plugging Death Wish 3.
And you know what? They shot the giggler, man. They shot the giggler. Oh, and the big villain in the movie with the reverse mohawk. Mm-hmm. Remember, because at the time they're like, well, we already got the punks with the mohawks, and I think people are used to that. So how do we freak people? We'll do a reverse mohawk. The actor who plays that guy played Chuck on Happy Days. That was Richie Cunningham's older brother.
Who never appeared again in the show.
Who apparently vanished, went to the Bronx, and became an insane mutant criminal.
It's the weird thing about Happy Days, and I know this is you and I. We can go down these rabbit holes and not get to anything we're supposed to talk about. But exactly. The crazy thing about Happy Days is I think it's one of the sitcoms, one of the only ones I can think of, where they introduce a family in the first season, and there's an older brother. Now, the easy thing to do in the second season is say, yeah, he went away. He's in the army, he's traveling. Yeah. Suddenly they're a family that never had an older brother. And it's scary. It's scary.
Yeah, it was. And I wonder how many people that scarred, like were their kids like, if I misbehave, can my family just kind of vanish me or
disappear me?
Yeah, like in the pictures, like they Stalin that dude out of that. He's gone. He's just airbrushed out of everything. It's so creepy.
I have to mention something, which is I think about you every day since we've come to Largo, because Largo, as I've been explaining to people watching our show, Largo is like the comedy theater in Los Angeles. It's this magical spot, and we all come here and perform. And the crowds are great, and it's this lovely old theater. I got my start here in '85 in a little room. Lisa Kudrow and I were literally right across. That's where we met, in this small room back in '86 when I first came to LA. But there are pictures up of everybody who's performed here. Your pictures everywhere here because this was apparently your second home.
Yes.
I've seen you many times. I think this is where you met your late wife, Michelle. Isn't that right?
Yes. I did a show and I talked about it was a show and on stage I did a bit about how Irish women are my kryptonite. And after the show, she was walking out with some, and she was like, "Hey, Irish girls, nice." And I was like, "Thank you," and just like stunned. And then my friend Greg Barrett was like, "Go talk to her, you idiot!" Like he told me to go talk to her. So then I ran out on the street, and my first words to her were, "Hey," because she was 50 feet away already. And then I was like, I don't have any game or anything. You seem really cool. Here's my phone number. Could we go get dinner? Like I just was I'm not going to try to be smooth or cool here. I am hapless with women. So I just, and that's how we met.
This is, I'm very happy that you have managed to, and you've worked with other people, pull together this 6-part docuseries, I'll Be Gone in the Dark, which is such a great, lovely tribute to your late wife, Michelle McNamara's work of, her obsession with the Golden State Killer and her determination, and you've put this all together, and it really is a remarkable testament to what she was able to do. I mean, so much of it on her own, and with some other people in the community who, it's such a tribute to people online who are determined to solve something. They're not professionally trained. It really is a fantastic story.
It's amazing. The director, Liz Garbus, who is such a genius, has put together this narrative that I didn't know how she was going to do it, from, taking a book that was already expansive and expanding it out even further to go into the victims' lives and the survivors' lives and how resilient they were. And then everything that Michelle went through, and did what Michelle wanted to do, which was the killer is the least important part of this story. He's just this insect that's disrupting what should be a thriving ecosystem. And then for what damage he's able to do, the ecosystem ends up thriving even more. And so the fact that she's able to show all of that to me is just amazing. But it's for me, some of them are there are 6 episodes. I've only been able to watch 4. I don't think I'll be able to watch 5 and 6. I had to watch all the rough cuts. And after episode 4, which was this past Sunday, I had to call Liz and go, I don't think I can watch any more of these, and I hope you don't think that I'm being. She goes, no, I absolutely understand. I'm amazed you got this far. So, and by the way, her memorial service took place in the Largo.
I was here. Yeah. I remembered the memorial to Michelle was here at the Largo, and it was really lovely, and everyone turned out. And I'm thinking of, I just thought of it today, and I've thought about it often. When I see Michelle in the footage for the documentary, I remember this time when completely by accident, I think all of us were in Hawaii at the same time.
That's right.
And we saw it, we ran into each other, and you were with Michelle, I'm with my wife, Liza, and we decided, let's all get dinner. And we had this lovely dinner. And then I remember all of us talking to Michelle about this obsession she had with finding this killer, and it was right in my wheelhouse. So I remember that spectacular evening very fondly. Really lovely.
That would happen a lot. We would go to dinner with another couple, and we would start off just kind of all talking about whatever, and then once it got out what Michelle does, what she was working on, the whole dinner just became so. But how do you you use MapQuest? That is, and she's like, well, yeah, it was always. I remember there was a time I was developing a sitcom for myself with Phil Rosenthal, and there was a really telling moment when he was like, I wanted it to be very, very real life, like, what my life was. He goes, well, what does your wife do? And I explained to him what Michelle did. And he said, okay, well, that's a way more interesting show than what we're writing. So in this show, your wife's going to be a party planner, because if your wife in this show does what Michelle does, no one's going to want, like, why are we focusing on this idiot doing stand-up? I want to focus on her. So I was like, yeah, that's probably a good idea. So it was that kind of thing.
One thing that I wanted to mention too, while I have you here, is you are so funny and so sharp, tweeting about our president often. And we're in this moment right now where, of course, things have gotten to a level of insanity. It does really feel like we're living in Death Wish 3, like the streets are, but you still seem to have kind of an optimistic attitude about the situation we're in right now, which fascinates me.
You and I are big history buffs. You've caught me reading Robert Caro's LBJ books and all of Reaganland and Nixonland and the Invisible Bridge and all those. So I try to look to history for comfort. But what I'm also realizing is Trump, as bad as he is, he is the boomers' last temper tantrum before they die. That's what we're looking at. Every generation, as they get older and they start to realize they're being phased out, the boomers were like, we were the cutting edge, we were the disruptors, and now they're seeing, no, there's Gen X, there's millennials, there's Gen Y. So they picked what's the last thing we can do to have a tantrum, and it was Donald Trump, the most awful, bloated white dude. And as bad as he is, I always tell my Gen X friends, and I try to tell millennials or whatever, like I'm out talking to people, but like as bad as this tantrum is, just know whatever our Gen X tantrum is going to be even worse. When we are in our 60s and 70s, we are going to have some crazy tantrum where we were the cool ones, and God knows who we're going to put up there. It's going to be Eddie Vedder or Janine Garofalo, and I love those two. I love Janine; she's a friend, but she would agree with me. She'd be a terrible president. She would get in the White House and go, you know what? I'm just not showing up today. I just don't feel good. I'm not doing it. Or Eddie Vedder would be like, I'm just doing all of the White House business is going to be done here at the beach. I'm just going to be sitting by my surfboard. And I shudder to think what our temper tantrum is going to look like.
I just love the idea of Eddie Vedder giving his State of the Union speech, but we can't understand him because he says it the way he sings. And it's like, or the
State of the Union, the first thing he'll say is, first off, this is all BS, okay? Do we all understand that all of this is nonsense? We shouldn't even be here, man. And so, like, it'll just be, it's going to be a bad tantrum. It's going to be bad.
Well, let me make sure I mention these things. I Love Everything is available to stream on Netflix. And do feel free to put on the closed captioning function. And I'll Be Gone in the Dark is fantastic. It airs Sundays at 10 o'clock p.m. on HBO, and it's available to stream on HBO Max. And it is a lovely tribute and a fascinating story, so well told. Patton, I'm thinking about you. I'm here at Largo, and we're holding down the fort. I've actually put a mattress in one of the two small dressing rooms on the floor.
You're going to the mattress.
Yeah, and so and there's part of me that when things get back to normal and comedians come back, I'm going to insist they keep the mattress on the floor and say that's the Conan O'Brien Memorial mattress.
Yeah, well, way high over your left shoulder, there's a piñata shaped like me.
I see it right here.
There it is.
Oh my God.
Yeah, if you want to.
There's also I think I showed this online, but there's she's a beautiful, beautiful woman. We all love her, but there's an absolutely horrifying crocheted pillow with the face of Sarah Silverman on it, which haunts my dreams.
It's truly haunting. I think Mark Cohen made that. And oh God, yeah. Look at that.
This is a crime scene.
It is. Yeah.
Sarah, we love you, and you're absolutely gorgeous. I don't think anybody looks good as a crocheted pillow.
No, and also a crocheted pillow with someone's face on it, that's like found in Ed Gein's house. Like that would be the caption of that.
It says serial killer written all over it.
Oh, it's amazing.
There's a lot of stuff here. I think I need to spend a night here. Since there's a mattress here, I'm going to probably sleep here one night. Just to see what happens.
Conan, at night, all that stuff comes alive. I'm just letting you know, you don't want to spend the night there. It
all comes to life and they all just have sex with each other.
I was going to say they have a creepy dance party to Calliope music, and you went right to, they have an orgy.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Maybe it starts with your vision and ends with mine. All right, Patton, I miss you. I love you, and I hope we see each other in person soon, okay?
Yes, and I'm going to keep checking in on your hair. Everyone should keep watching Conan to check in on the hair every week.
This will be an indication of how it's going in America.
It really is. That's how we're measuring this.
Yeah, this is the new, the Richter scale measures earthquakes. This measures the United States response to the pandemic.
Wow. That's amazing.
All right. I bow to you, sir. Thank you very much for doing this. Get out of that theater, man. Get out of that theater.
Yeah,
all right. I'll see you soon. Take care.
Okay. You too. Bye.